Welcome back, everybody. Continue talking about, about the Soviet invasion and the Wannsee Conference. So, one of the big things we have to talk about is the role of the Wehrmacht. That they're going to kill an estimated 2 million people, with that number being about 1.5 million Jews and 225,000 Roma. One of the major instances of this is the Bila Tserkva massacre in August 1941. Initially, they killed only the adults and then left all of the children, about 90 of them, locked up and starving in a nearby school. They would eventually be shot a few days later. Pretty famous song will emerge. Here are some lyrics. Oh, what should we say and what should we tell when little children were buried alive? This, happened on the 7th square. They were buried in a pit like a barrel. Not a single drop of their blood will go unanswered. We will destroy, wipe out the murderers. We will crush every one of them into dust. They will pay for everything, for everything. So take a minute, talk about this with your neighbor, and discuss what do you think the lyrics of this mean. So a bit more on the Wehrmacht. It's important to understand people like soldiers and chaplains got used to it. And the goal was to eradicate this Jewish Bolshevist system, with Field Marshal Erich von Manstein going on to say the Jewish Bolshevist system must be exterminated once and for all. Never again must it encroach upon our European living space. So connecting back to that idea of Lebensraum that we've been talking about. German treatment of Soviet POWs was not great. Outside of the Jewish population, Soviet POWs are going to be the largest group of non-Jews that are killed. Some numbers for you. 5.7 million Soviets will be captured over the course of the war. By the end of the war, 930,000 will still be in prison. 1 million will have been released and sent to Germany to be forced laborers, which leaves about 3.3 million, or about 57%, unaccounted for, meaning they were dead. Now, this was a deliberate policy. Their treatment differed from the way they'll treat British and American POWs. They want the Soviets gone. Death came in various ways. Typically, there was not enough supplies, so they got rid of people, so they killed them. By 1941, the biggest killers were actually typhus and dysentery. In October 1941, on average, about 4,600 Soviet POWs would die per day. Now, they're viewed as Slavic and Asiatic inferiors, part of the Bolshevik menace, and considered to be part of a Jewish conspiracy, so no mercy was shown to them. It's also important to understand camps set up for the Soviet POWs are going to become part of the mechanism to destroy the Jews going forward. So we need to talk about Romania real quick. So if you remember last week, we talked about how Romania joined the Axis. Well, they, like everybody else, are heavily invested in extreme violence. And typically, when there's extreme violence, it simply produces more of the same. So they're going to take an active role in the invasions of 1941 into Yugoslavia, Greece, and the Soviet Union, and cooperate with the Einsatzgruppen to murder Jews and Roma, with about 35,000 Jews being slaughtered in the city of Odessa alone. We also talked about the Isai program, which was the deadliest, about 13,000 Jews being murdered in 9 days. And in the fall of 1941, they began mass deportations, first across the Dniester River and then the Bug River, with about 50,000 being sent at first, and then another 120,000 Romanian Jews being sent to Transnistria in occupied Ukraine. Many Roma are also going to share the same fate. An estimated 11,000 will be killed there between 1941 and 1944. It is important to note, compared to Poland and Denmark and the Netherlands, a higher percentage of Romanian Jews will actually survive the Holocaust compared to other groups that we could highlight. So, now we need to talk about the Wannsee Conference. This is in January of 1942. 15 men are going to decide on the Wannsee Protocol. Now, the big thing here is there's a myth that this meeting is where the final solution was decided, the plan to kill all the Jews. In reality, mass murder was already underway here. No decision was needed from these men, and at camps like Chełmno in Poland, Jews had already been gassed starting in December 1941. Those in attendance include some people we have talked about before, including Adolf Eichmann and Reinhard Heydrich, who we've been talking about here and there, along with representatives of the SS, the Gestapo, the Einsatzgruppen, the Foreign Office, the Justice Ministry, basically almost every major facet of the Nazi machine. Their government was in representation at this meeting. So let's explore some historical context for this. Many consider the conference important for coordinating procedures. It's also important to note this is not their top tier leaders. They were managers of various things. In a letter from Göring, Heydrich was tasked to carry out all preparations for a final solution of the Jewish question in these territories in Europe which are under German influence. It's important to note nobody objected to annihilation. They even started with the announcement of Estonia being free of Jews. They had to also consider what to do with the Mischling, the Germans of mixed Jewish descent that had non-Jewish parents. Remember, we talked about them weeks ago. Well, this meeting was originally supposed to have happened in December 1941, but it was postponed due to the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor and the subsequent declaration of war on the United States. Basically, all eyes were focused on the actual course of fighting, not this meeting to plan procedures. It did give Heydrich and the others a chance to report on the progress of the destruction so far, as well as develop plans for the future. So, some major effects that I want to highlight here. Jews everywhere were the enemy, according to Nazi logic. This globalized the project. And like any official report, this report is selective and serves more as a what was supposed to have happened instead of what was actually said at this meeting. It more so should be viewed as like here's what did happen, what they're wanting to share, but the rest they don't want to talk about. So, knowledge check. Consider the following. What was the impact of the Wannsee Conference? That's a pretty big question. Take a few minutes, talk this over with your table partners, and then we'll discuss this as a class. All right, activity number 2. We're going to watch a clip from the movie Conspiracy, which is about the Wannsee Conference, starring Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci as Heydrich and Eichmann, respectively. Now, while watching the clip, consider the following. What are they discussing? Well, I should say debating. How does this connect back to what we just discussed? And what was the impact of the Wannsee Conference based off of this clip? And then here are all sources that were cited in this section in the creation of this week's lesson. I'll see you all in the next video in just a minute. Bye, guys.